Preventing Brexit from being reversed. My name is Mike Cashman. A recent book with satire and parody about what the Tory government has done over the last couple of years, including the damage of Brexit, is It's My Party and I'll Lie If I Want To, with Augusta Lees. QR codes to take you to 120 videos. But this is a video about the subject of preventing Brexit being reversed. Now, Tories have explained that they wish to join the CPTPP, the Pacific Trade Partnership, specifically or particularly in order to prevent Brexit being reversed, because as a member of that group, that would make it more difficult for the UK to rejoin the EU. Now, there's a lot more that can be said about the CPTPP. Phil Moorhouse, on A Different Bias, goes into a lot more detail. I just want to pick up on one particular aspect of this, the motivation. So if the motivation for joining CPTPP is primarily to prevent Brexit being reversed, I know there are others. I'm sure all of Britain's Pacific ports are delighted at the thought of trading more easily around the Pacific Ocean. But if the primary motivation is to prevent Brexit being reversed, what does that tell us? It tells us that the current government are trying to take steps in order to prevent a future government from reversing Brexit, from rejoining the EU. So this is a bit like the Vikings burning their boats to force the troops arriving in the UK, in that case, to succeed in their battles because they had no way of going back to the Scandinavian countries that they'd come from. What this means currently is that the current government is trying to make it impossible for the UK in, let's say 2030, to pick a round number date, trying to make it impossible for the UK in 2030 to rejoin the EU. So the assumption behind that is that what they're concerned about is a UK in 2030 that wishes to rejoin the EU. What they're seeking to ensure that if that was to happen, that in 2030, the UK population would be saying, well, we would like to rejoin the EU, but measures put in place by the Tory government of 2019 to 2024, or whatever it is, are preventing us from doing so. So notice, therefore, the assumption behind this is that there will be a wish to rejoin the EU. Well, indeed, one could argue that in the majority of the population there already is. But the assumption is that there's a sufficient wish, that this is politically significant, and that the will of the people and the politicians and the parliament at that point is to rejoin the EU, but it's frustrated by actions taken by this Tory government. So they're assuming that we will want to rejoin, but trying to take steps now to make it impossible for us to do so. What an interesting set of assumptions. For a policy which was sold as being beneficial, you're trying to apply some handcuffs to it to ensure that even if people want to reverse it, they won't be able to. So you're clearly expecting that it's possible that people will want to reverse it. I think that's a fair assumption. I'm Mike Cashman. The channel is Britannia Waves the Rules. Please subscribe. Thank you.